Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobie Outdoor Adventures. I'm with Lone Star Kayak Guides this week. Matt Scotch, Joe Davis. We're on the Brazos River, Central Texas. This is a beautiful gem in the Northern Hill Country, and we're here to catch bass. What are we looking for, Matt?
We're looking for, there's gonna be some active fish today. We got some cloud cover, low barometric pressure. There should be some really active bass. Joe's gonna be flinging some flies. I'm gonna throw some conventional stuff, some top water, maybe some jigs, wacky worm, just whatever we have to throw to catch fish today. The water level's good, the water's clear, the bass are spawning. It should be a good day.
Keaton Oaf and Joe Davis will be fishing on the Hobie Mirage Compass, and Matthew Scotch will be on the Outback. They'll have about 10 miles to go on this beautiful Brazos River.
So we've tried to plan this trip for going on 2 weeks now. Originally we got rained out. We were trying to hit the spawn. You know, in between travel and stuff, we all were able to meet this day. So we drove in this morning, got up the cracker early and came fishing. So how are we gonna approach this?
What we're gonna do, we're gonna take this left bank here. It's a little bit deeper than what it is over here on the right. And we can get a few casts in here and we might pick up a few, but right as we come around this into this bend, we'll slip over to the right side of the river. And that's where we're really gonna start getting into it.
So this is my practice bank. I probably cut myself more than even the branches I was casting into. So that didn't last long for me. That was the start of my day. And so a small disappointment in my performance. We transitioned quickly and moved over into some top water, throwing a Zare spook, also interchanging with a chatterbait, soft plastic, crawfish. You kind of got to adapt to the river. So whatever I saw, I would just kind of throw what I thought would best access that piece of structure and get the fish out.
There you go. That's not a bad fish. Nice.
That's a start.
Yeah, that's a start.
That's a respectable start.
We're getting there.
I had to lay down the fly rod. The wind and my inability to chunk a popper was giving me some fits, but that's a start. I want bigger. Beautiful day on the Brazos River. And he goes. This is one of those environments that I don't know how you fish without a Mirage drive, really. It's a lot of work as it is, but being able to pedal and adjust the rudder makes all the difference in the world.
Little spot.
We started off, in my opinion, a little bit slow. We were kind of late getting on the water, getting our gear ready, new place, trying to figure it out. I was fly fishing, banging the wind, and we moved up, caught a couple fish on top water. Just good river fish. My expectation of a river fish is 2 to 3 pounds, 5 pound max. And I started throwing a chatterbait. Come across a log and I lay into something. It laid into me first. I lay into it and it bent the rod good, and all of a sudden that thing came right back and hit my kayak. And I was kind of disappointed there. So I just flipped right back into that bush, and I flipped and flipped and flipped. And like I was ready to give up. And the fifth flip on the backside, just the teeniest tick, and I set the hook. There we go.
Yeah. All right. That looks like a good fish. Oh yeah.
This is the one Matt was wanting me to catch. I'll just take my time with this little boy. Ha ha ha. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Oh, get it.
Yeah!
Woo! Woo!
Oh, that, my friends, that was like my 5th cast at it. And slam. Whew. Oh, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's a beast, man.
My biggest bass filming Hobie Outdoor Adventures. Personal best on the river. It was a really good fish and good fight. Oh, baby. Baby, baby, what a beautiful fish. All right, she is gonna go back home. What a big fish. First trip on the Brazos River, and I had a really nice fish, but we got half a day left, so I'm gonna keep going, come back, more Hobie Outdoor Adventures. It's gonna be good.
Welcome back to Hobie Outdoor Adventures. We're going kayak fishing on the river in Texas. Hobie Outdoor Adventures host Keaton Oaf meet up with Matthew Scotch and Joe Davis from Lone Star Kayak Guide for a fun fishing day on the Brazos River.
It's a really awesome stretch of river that we get to guide on. Lots of quality fish in here, trophy class fish. I mean, not just bass. I mean, you can go a lot of places, you can catch numbers of bass in rivers around Texas. But where we fish here, I mean, we catch really, really nice fish. Fish that most people, they couldn't dream of catching.
The Brazos River is the 11th longest river in the United States at 1,280 miles from its headwaters source at the head of Blackwater Draw, Curry County, New Mexico, to its mouth at the Gulf of Mexico, with a 45,000 square mile drainage basin. Being one of Texas' largest rivers, it's sometimes used to mark the boundary between East Texas and West Texas.
One of the great things about fishing rivers here in Texas, and especially from a kayak, is they're kayak friendly. You know, the river that we fish on today, there's no boats on this river. You can't get on this river with your bass boat or with your John boat, really, and it makes it a playground for us and our kayaks. These Hobie kayaks, they absolutely kill this river here. So it's just a really awesome place to bring your kayak and fish.
There she goes. Yeah, it's a couple pounds. Pretty fish. Ready to get back in the water for sure.
What'd you catch that one on?
Just covering water with that swim bait, that double Z swim bait there, and she nailed it. I really love this river because of the remoteness of it. You can come down here and not hardly see anybody else down here on the weekend. And you just get away from it all. You don't think about other things when you're out here. You're thinking about that next shoal or that next lay down. That's what you're thinking about. You're not out here thinking about the problems of the world. You're out here fishing the Brazos River. It's a beautiful place, even without fishing.
One of the amazing things about Texas rivers is we have a long growing season here. We're in the south for the most part, and so our bass grow 9-10 months of the year. And the fish in this river system, there's lots of food for them to eat. And once a bass gets 5-6 pounds here, he can eat anything. There's nothing in this river he can't eat. He can eat carp, catfish, turtles. I mean, he can eat things that you wouldn't normally think that most bass can eat. So, and I think that's one of the things that makes these bass so big is just the fact that they'll eat anything.
My big fish of the day, I'd tossed a swim bait over a boulder that was out in the river. And I was just fixing to just give up on the cast, basically, pull that bait in, and a fish came up and hit it. When it did, it surprised me a little bit, and I yanked it right out of her mouth. Got a wind knot in my rod, tip of my rod. While I was straightening that out, she picked it up off the bottom. I mean, it was just luck, me catching that fish, you know. There was no skill involved in that. That was luck. All day, I'll take luck over anything, you know. Oh, in all honesty, and that bait was sitting in the water, and she came back and got it. Wanted some more. So I lucked into that one, really.
Pretty fish.
This is what we come out here to catch, these big fish right here. We're gonna let her go. Let the next guy luck into catching her. There she goes.
Hobie Outdoor Adventures will be right back with more giant largemouth from the Brazos River, Texas. Welcome back to Hobie Outdoor Adventures. Today is actually the first time Keaton has had a chance to fish on the river on the Hobie Mirage Compass.
Now, I have access to pretty much every kayak we make. It's one of the perks of the job. And I love them all for what they do. The Compass has been a kayak that I haven't really seen a need for me in yet. I fish the Outback a lot, I fish the Pro Angler a lot, and those did it for most of my fishing. But fishing the river in the Compass completely gives me a new perspective and respect for that kayak. It paddles so well, it's stable, it's light, it's just an easy kayak to river fish out of. And that's what I want in a river. I want basic. I don't want a lot of stuff to get tangled up. I do enough of that myself.
One of the most amazing things about the kayaks we're in today, the Hobie Compass, is they paddle great.
You know, when you have to go over those shallow shoals and stuff like that, not only are they light, they track well and paddle great. So, you know, when you are on those long, shallow stretches, you still make ground and move along very nicely.
I was really surprised at how well they paddle. Easy boat to fish out of. There's not a lot of stuff to get hung up on like fly fishing out of it. There's not a lot of things in them to snag line on. You just strip line right below your seat, and there's nothing there for it to get tangled up on. So it's a great boat, great design.
And if you want a stealthy look, upgrade to the Compass Camo package that's outfitted with a reversing Mirage Drive 180 and comes in camo color. Check out the full lineup of Hobie kayaks with Mirage Drive systems at Hobie.com.
This morning when we started out, Joe Davis and Keaton kind of took the lead, and Joe was in the Compass, and he was having such a good time in the Compass that I said, hey man, you're gonna have to let me get in that thing. So we had lunch. I'm in the Compass now, and we're gonna cruise downriver and see if we can't put a couple more big fish in the boat. I'm fairly optimistic with the weather, some clouds and wind, we can catch a couple.
There we go. That one just took off. I felt him twice, and not a bad fish. I learned my lesson. I lost one a while ago, about a 5-pounder. Oh, there's the big one. There's the big one. There's the big one. Obviously, there was a pair in here, and I caught the smaller one, and then I saw a monster out there. Oh, there he is, working his way back in. Yep, he wants nothing to do with this bait. Okay, well, there's our lesson. There we go. It's a little one. So there's, oh yeah, it's a little spot. A little spotted bass. These get the backhand release. What you got?
That's all right, bass.
All right, bass. On a spinnerbait?
Yep.
Nice job. I know I'm gonna switch to spinnerbait. There he is. The male. These are little spots, so they're not that big, but caught the male than the female. Or there she is. And yeah, the largemouth have been spawned out, but these spots haven't spawned yet. My Gerber pliers. If you've not used Gerber fishing tools, yeah, the same company that makes knives, not baby food. These things fit your hand like a glove.
Well, coming up, Matthew Scotch continues to catch more fish. And finally, he finds the one he's looking for.
No! He's got me under a tree.
I'm really impressed with the management here on the river. Texas Parks and Wildlife does a great job of fisheries management all over the state, but the number of large fish that we caught today is a little bit mind-boggling in a river body. I would expect it if I was Lake Fork or Sam Rayburn, but you're fishing a river, the Brazos River, and we caught good fish. Not all of them are on camera. I broke off a good one in the bushes. Matt lost one, well, he didn't lose one. He caught it when the camera wasn't there, and so it doesn't count. And that's the rules, and he got upset about it, and that's just the way it is. But you know what? He's a fighter, and so he comes back around the corner going Ike on me, and he's just casting mad. He's mad casting, mad casting, mad casting. I just thought to myself, you know what, here in a minute, he's about to catch one. Oh yeah!
That's a 10-pound bass. No! He's got me under a tree.
Nice job. That's a fatty.
She spawned out too. She would have been 10 pounds.
Hug him real good.
A lot of times this fish right here, if we would have caught her 2 weeks ago, this fish right here would probably be 8, 9, 10 pounds. She's post-spawn right now. You can tell by just how thin she is. She's still probably a 7.5 pound fish, but she's feeding up. She's definitely post-spawn, and still, like I said, just still a really, really, really beautiful largemouth bass. Woo! Now that's fun right there. It's pretty awesome when, we have people come out with this and they can actually get them in the boat. A lot of times, and it's not their fault, but, the people we bring, they're not real experienced anglers. And so they catch a bass like the one you caught or Joe caught or one of the big ones like I caught, and they freak out, and then the fish jumps off or breaks their line and they lose it. And they're like, I didn't know it was gonna be that big.
I was gonna say, I don't think they expect it. I didn't, I get to catch 2 or 3 of those a year probably, but I'd never expect them.
Yeah.
Like unless I'm on a lake fork or a private lake where I know there's large fish in there, I did not expect it out of a river.
So you didn't believe me?
Matt, come on. Anybody can Photoshop their sister holding a big fish on Instagram, and so of course not. No, I believe they're here, and I'm just glad I got to come take part in this.
Damn, there's a big one.
Speaking of hit the fish, that one's better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was saying, we would have hit these fish. This one hasn't spawned yet, but we would have hit more of these fish pre-spawn 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah?
They generally, down here, because of the changing conditions on the river, these fish, when the water gets right, these fish all spawn really quick. There's a lot of techniques for river fishing here in Texas, and it's honestly no different than lake fishing. You have to capitalize on the conditions you're given. I don't do anything different in the river than I do on the lakes. I really don't. One thing I like to do on the river, since the water's clear, is I like the baits to look really natural. I don't throw anything that's flamboyant. I want it to look as realistic as possible. But other than that, I do everything the same on the lake as I do in the river. Beautiful colors on her, nice markings. She's not beat up from the spawn like some of them are right now. Just, like I said, it's a really beautiful bass. We've talked about doing this trip now for maybe 2 years almost. And the fact that we finally did it, we finally got to pull it off, and we did it with some success. It was really incredible. It was awesome to hear Keaton scream when he landed that big bass earlier. And he got to enjoy the river for all the reasons that we enjoy guiding here. He got to see how beautiful it is, how amazing the fishing is. It's absolutely incredible.
I did not expect a big fish today. You just don't do that with rivers. Rivers, it's running water typically. The fish are, very aggressive, but they're a little bit smaller. I think my largest river fish was probably 5.5 pounds before this. So all my years of experience in rivers, and I fished them a lot, did not provide that size of fish. And so this is one of the best trips I've ever had.
Interested in catching trophy bass on the Hobie kayaks? Go to LoneStarKayakGuide.com and book your fishing trip of a lifetime today.
But I'm trying to figure out what he has.
He's got a fish. Oh, he's coming back for the cameraman.